David had time to hear from God. He got to have a relationship with him. He got to know him for himself. While the brothers were bragging on themselves and Jesse bragging on them too, David was bragging on his God.
Come on now.
You see, God wanted David for himself. I repeat, he was grooming, preparing, making, and shaping David as David was the sheep. David danced, praised his way to being the king. His enemies, he had to stand before the enemies and let them know who made him king, who dressed him up. Then he could dance in front of the people and not have to worry about anyone trying to check him because he was the man. He was large and in charge.
All right.
I'm sure he remained humble because he knew where he came from, what he'd been through, how he was overlooked, how he was mistreated. So his praise said it all for him. How you like me now? The Bible tells how David danced all out of his clothes. And his wife, what was wrong with the wives back then? Some of them. The wives back then, and some today, she should have been praising God with her man instead of complaining. She was complaining. What was wrong with her? I'm an equal opportunity speaker. So can I remind you of Vashti because her heart was out of place. She was replaced by Esther. If man, again, mankind had his or their way, they wouldn't have chosen Esther to be the next queen because she was a Jew. But God was preparing her, having her groomed, dressing her up for the occasion to free his people.
All right.
The book of Proverbs declares that the king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. As the rivers of the water, he turneth it whichever way he wants to. While God was preparing Esther, he was also preparing the king. Esther, she was bold and beautiful. Reminds me of Lady Lord. She had what they call a bulldog tenacity. She said, if I perish, let me perish.
All right.
To see the king. Although Vashti had it going on too, obviously because she was married to the king, please take note. It wasn't about all of this, but it was about all of that.
All right.
God had Esther on a mission and she succeeded because of her heart. Vashti, she dressed up in one way, but Esther was dressed up by the Lord. And that's what made the difference. Then Joseph, he was a dreamer. Unlike David, he was his dad's favorite son of all the brothers. He wouldn't have been nominated as king but God. Joseph's heart was upright before the Lord, and in spite of the rejections man and set up by woman, everything he had to endure, God was judging his heart. And in due time, his heart, he also reigned as king. Let's bring up Moses, if I may. Although he had a speech impediment, God yet chose him to deliver his people out of the hands of Pharaoh, the Egyptian, and into the promised land. When God has his mind set on you, he means you. Glory. Even if he has to assign you help, he's going to get the glory out of you, regardless. Because of Moses' stuttering, he definitely would have been chosen by man. God was so determined to get the job done through Moses that he designated his brother Aaron to assist him. Remember, it was Moses' heart that won God. Will you all bring up with me Daniel? He definitely wasn't a people pleaser. The complaint against him was that he prayed too much. How many can say this is why people complain about you?
Mighty.
Because in Daniel's heart, he found favor with the Lord. He refused to denounce his God for another. Daniel, he prayed at least 3 times a day. He too had a relationship with God that man just didn't understand. The lions couldn't even devour Daniel because of the anointing God had. God had him covered. He dressed him up. Speaking of that, now I know we all have different interpretations, but what fell in my spirit as I was preparing the message, I wondered did God blind the eyes, the senses of the lions? I wondered did they see Daniel as one of them? We all know of God and his way of awing his people. Moving along, what about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, better known as the 3 Hebrew boys? They were so about their one and only God that they would not bow down to another. The people were so angry with them that they had them thrown into the fire furnace. I believe that God dressed them up for the occasion. They were covered, y'all. Miss Rahab, who would have thought? Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ came through her lineage. Talking about dress up. Because of the purpose, her mission to hide the spies that Joshua had sent out to spy the land, God had to condition her heart, her mind, and her body to dress up. And because of her obedience, her heart, she and her household were saved. Just think about if it were you, your dress up, the new you, the change you. Somebody else's life could very much depend on it. Hallelujah. By show of hands, who would allow God to dress you up? Now, we as saints, many of us, we wouldn't have chosen Rahab to mount the pulpit because of our judgmental, self-righteous, spiritual, scuba diver selves. God can do the work through and choose whom he so desires. And regardless of popular opinion, the job will get done. Who wouldn't have chosen the woman at the well, the adulterous woman? I mean, really. Who wouldn't have prejudged her prematurely? I know that things are done in decency and in order, and the Word of God speaks about it. And we are all a work in progress. We are yet being processed, but when God dresses you up, he chooses you, the process has already begun. We just have to be on our spiritual, have on our spiritual lenses, have on our spirit of discernment on, and listen to the voice of God. After coming in contact with Jesus, the woman was never the same. She was instantly transformed. Talking about Acts. She was instantly transformed. She recognized without being told. It came automatically as to what she must do. While Mary was trying to figure it out, God had already worked it out in her life through his son, Jesus Christ. I'm almost done. Let's talk about Paul for just 1 minute. And even after being converted, the people were still afraid of him because of his track record. He wouldn't have been selected at all. Paul was a dynamite man of God, a warrior. In spite of all Paul had done, God still had a plan for his life. He was still preparing his heart for the appointed time. Okay, since y'all want me to hurry up. Okay, before I close, I can't go to my seat without writing on my leaders. Bishop Frank A. Lord II and overseer Jacqueline Lord. Now, when the mantle was passed down to him, I was the one that made the call. May I pause here parenthetically? God will sometimes use your enemy to deliver a word through prophecy that will shock them, catch them by surprise, and before they realize it, the word is already out of their mouth. However, I made the call, and the person that brought forth the word, they just knew that they were next in line to Pastor Hope, now HOLC. Not only that person, but a few others were also waiting in line. But God said, Bishop Frank Lord II. So I called him my bishop, and he stated that he wasn't able to come at that time. Number one, he was at the hospital with overseer Lord and her dad. And if memory serves me correct, I believe he told me that he couldn't make it the way he was. He'll have to tell y'all that story. God saw his heart, yet had already chosen him before he entered his mother's womb. So although Bishop Lord thought that he wasn't ready, God said, come as you are, but I have need of thee now. You just hearken unto my voice, and I will do the rest. Now, I didn't really know Overseer Lord at the time, but I would see her drop in and out of the revival a few times in Lottie Hill. I believe she came 1 or 2 nights, but whether she knew it or not, God was preparing her for the Christian journey. I remember her saying one time that she was purchasing a pair of shoes, and somebody asked her, was she a preacher's wife? And I guess the shoes that she was getting, I guess they thought wasn't appropriate. That's the purpose of me wearing what I have on. Because some people don't feel like because you're an evangelist or you're an apostle, you're a pastor, you're a teacher, you can't dress a certain way because they don't have on the spirit of discernment. So they're going to prejudge you and they'll send me to the right rather than sit me up here with the elect because of what I have on. But when God dress you up, it doesn't matter what man says, because God dress you up for the occasion. Young man dress you up.